I would get a pen and paper like ASAP. Should we start off this video with Ron? Actually, I didn't come here to Ron. Today we're gonna do some repotting, some chores. I'm gonna put some plants on these poles and I'm gonna talk about my wish list plants. My top 10 wish list. Now, if you're a Zine reader, I would have mentioned all of these plants in my Zine, but just in case you aren't, I'm gonna put it in video form. Now, usually people do these videos at the beginning of the year because it's like you have the entire year to find these things. Let's pause for the ambalam. Now, usually people do these at the beginning of the year. I only started the channel a couple months ago, so I recently made a new wish list, or I guess next year. You know, it's like a future in the future plan. If I was you, I would get a pen and paper like ASAP because obviously I'm biased, but like I also have pretty good taste, so you might be adding a lot of these to your own wish lists. This looked like it needed a repot ages ago. I'm getting distracted. Wish list plant number 1, Begonia Lamoon. Lamoon? I had a couple opportunities to get a Begonia Lamoon recently, but I decided against it just because I've never acclimated anything before, but specifically begonias. I'm not feeling that adventurous at the moment. I figure a Begonia Lamoon might be easier to find within the next year. Next year? Yeah. Oh my god, don't say it. I think I just ruined my day. That might be a next year plant. It's a pink cane. Everything you need to know. I love a pink cane. Begonia Lamoon, that's on my list. I'm just trying to like loosen up these roots. The mix is very light and airy. It's not dense, but my new mix is dense. So I'm trying to get some of the chunk out just so that it's not like a block of airy mix and then heavy soil on the outside. Usually I would solder some holes in the pots like these, especially for anthuriums, but I would have to stop filming and get the soldering iron, and I'm not gonna do that. So there have been people importing Begonia Lamoon. I've seen that on a couple people's import lists. I've been a little bit hesitant to get it. Begonia kind of fall into that category where even if I was confident enough to feel like I could acclimate, it wouldn't be a begonia because I do know they have a tendency to just like freak out and melt, especially if you're acclimating them in high humidity. That is a consideration. So for that reason, even though I did consider it like seriously, I thought, you know what, lust the Begonia Lamoon. I'm sure it will be available soon just because I feel like it does have that kind of look where a lot of people would be interested in it. I don't really feel like that was a missed opportunity. I feel like it will be more available. Can you see this? You can't really see what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot my slow release. Don't fall. And then next on the wish list is Pinguicula cyclosector. Such a cool one. It sun stresses to this really nice purple. Okay, I couldn't find my plant tape, so we're just going with twine. What was I saying? I mean, I've been heavy into the Pinguiculas lately. Cyclosector sun stresses to this really nice purple. I'm gonna insert some Foliage. The purple is just chef's kiss. I'm on the lookout for one of those. I haven't seen anyone selling it yet, but like as with all the plants on this list, I'm not looking for them right now actively. I think I might be done with the plant purchasing of the year, and I think it's important not to like get excessive with it. This is did I say this was Philodendron Alchoco? Alchoco on a pole. I've always said the Alchoco is one that I really like and I think is deserving on the pole. Philodendron longer low bottom. The full name is Lilano Miano. Those are not different philodendrons, that's my understanding at least. Lilano Miano, I believe, is just the guy who discovered it. That's not the point. The point is that it's a really cool looking plant. I really like the appeal of like a UPI type leaf where it's like almost like a billietier. You know, you've got these massive long petioles and then lobe and, you know, this. Does that make sense? The next one we're going to pot up, Philodendron Patricia. The Patricia was one that I really did want to put on a pole. as much as I say that about everything, the Patricia is the one that it needs to be on a pole to get to its full Patricia potential. In fact, the Patricia is also one of the ones that had the... Maybe I'll do 2 or 3, I'm not sure. I'll have to see what the roots look like on some of these. And then I'm gonna give it a pull. See this stem rot? A little bit of stem rot there. Can you see? There's like a side... There's a line between green and rot on that stem. Now, usually I would trim that off, but I'm smelling it and it doesn't smell. And also the medium doesn't smell either. So I'm gonna do a risky thing right now. I'm gonna leave that. I think I lied. I'm gonna trim it off. Okay, let me get my shears. The shears stay inside because they are very precious and sharp. This is how we keep them sharp. We keep them clean and indoors. I would show you my old shears that I did not keep indoors, but that would be a little bit embarrassing. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, I think that's fine. I don't think there's rot further on in there. I wish I could show you this. It's so ridiculous. I had a box of charcoal and I put this is charcoal. I put a roid mix over the charcoal. So now there's charcoal at the bottom. Usually I don't bother with charcoaling over the cuts. But because I'm putting this straight into soil, I'm living on the edge right now. Then we have Anthurium King of Spades. If you've been watching, you know the King of Spades was like a saga. I could have had one and then I sat on it and it got sold. And I was like, dang, I would have one right now if I hadn't, you know. Yeah, but that's really how I shop. That's why the impulsive like WhatsApp sales really don't work for me, because I like to sit on a decision. You know, I like to let it linger. That's what I do, and then while I'm letting it linger, it gets sold. So that method really doesn't work. I'm not urgent on it, but I do really want one. It'll come around again, I'm sure. So that was Anthurium King of Spades. I'm trying to grow out the Bobbyonka, so it's gonna look a little Lord Farquaad-y. I could just do that. Yeah, that works. That works so well. Sphagnum moss in the hair, no problemo. How do people repot and talk at the same time? This is like impossible. Do you know what? I'm struggling as it is, so I'm not even gonna worry about what the angle is for you, because this one is another Anthurium. Anthurium Wendlingeri. I like pendulous Anthurium, and the thing about the Wendlingeri, it has some really cool foliage, but it also has these really cool blooms. It's another one that I'm on the lookout for. Wendlingeri prices, if I compare them to Pallidiflorum prices, Wendlingeri costs more. And I don't know why that is. Maybe they're just not as easy to find, but I'm waiting on a smaller, cheaper Wendlingeri, a good price, a good size on that one. But I'm patient. I originally got this Patricia in a plant swap quite a while ago. It was 1 leaf, 1 node. I am quite excited to see a growth on this. I am. One of the things I'm focusing on in my October Zine is plant swapping. Although, should I even get started on this? I have had a hell of a morning. Pudo has changed the way. They've changed it so that you can't book a locker. In case you're not familiar, the way that Pudo used to work was that you would book a locker and then you would have like 48 hours to deposit your package and then it would be sent. And then the receiver would have like 48 hours to get the package out of the locker. So that worked pretty well for me. I know a lot of people complain about Pudo. I've been fortunate enough that I have not had many troubles with the Pudo system, but also this is important, I don't Pudo often. So the only time I use Pudo is the odd seller will offer it. Honestly, a lot of sellers don't offer it because it's such a gamble. And then also when I do swaps, you want it to show up obviously, but you also don't want to be spending a lot of money on swaps. And I haven't had any troubles receiving or sending. That was up until this morning. Let me reverse, actually. The way the new system works is that you don't book a locker the way you used to. If you are trying to do this as low cost as possible, you would choose locker to locker. This is where the problem comes in. If you're not allowed to book a locker, then you have to show up to a locker and pray to God that the locker has the spot that you need. With this new system, we drove to 2 lockers. All of them were saying that they were fully booked, which was like a thing that never used to happen. It was very rare that the full locker would be booked. I really hope that they reverse what they've done and make it so that you can book a locker, because the whole point of Pudo, and the reason I liked it, was because I have a Pudo pretty close to my house. It's like it was really easy to like deposit a package or pick something up from there. If the locker system is like kind of made redundant, because every time you want to post something, that locker is going to be full, you would just have it picked up at your door, or the kiosk option, but the kiosk isn't that close either. 15 to 20 minutes away. Kind of a downer. It's like they had something good and then they went and made a silly decision that kind of made these lockers redundant. Now, what's the point of making them redundant if you've installed them all over the place? Oh, do you know what? My Hoyas are blooming. And I had to put this one outside because the smell is actually way too strong. If they're inside, I'll leave them to like bloom, but others like this one, the Croniana, don't look at my trellising. The trellising is not the point. Can you see that one? Extremely potent. Worst trellising job ever. Where were we? We were at the Wendlingeri. Is this number 5? Number 6? Begonia malachosticta. Begonia malachosticta is a dark one. It's got the appeal of a few different begonias that I really like. It's got the pink spots. It's got the dark foliage. It's got the length. And it's a cane. I know people usually keep this one in like terrarium conditions. I think I could acclimate it out of that. I think I could. It's one that I think would blend in with the selection really nicely. I don't think I've ever seen malachosticta for sale, but I would be keen on adding that one in. I think I would do well with it, just based off nothing. And then there's Anthurium bevip, aka Anthuriums, like the dark one of the dark ones. There are a few different forms of this. I was trying to find a poster that's got all the different forms on. I don't think you'd be able to find like just a pure Anthuriums. I think you'd always find them crossed with something else. I think the point is that I just want a really almost Vanta Black Anthurium. The bevip I found is the closest one that you'll get to like Vanta Black. Next is Philodendron pastizanum silver or normal. The normal pastizanum, I like the pasta in the Dean McDowell. So I think that I'd like the pasta more. I've seen normal pasta for sale, haven't seen pasta silver, but that one is on the list. Second to last one, we have Begonia Darth Vaderiana. Now, I have seen these for sale and I would get one. I know they can be really finicky, but I do have an unending amount of confidence that I can grow them. Initially, they would have to be put in a prop box, I think. And then the danger there would be trying not to melt it to death in the prop box. But I reckon I would grow it with the purpose of growing it in the carport eventually. The Breviary Mosa was one that I thought I would never be able to acclimate to the carport. And I did, so I could do that with the Darth Vaderiana. That would really be like an achievement for me. One is, oh, and do I even have to like explain the appeal of the Darth Vaderiana? Just look at it. Could you call the Darth Vaderiana cane? I've never seen them like mature enough to actually see like legs on them. And then the last one is, now this is one I have absolutely no hopes of owning anytime soon. It's the Anthurium Lux by Warwickrianum. You could, with this one, I would say if you do want to buy this one, definitely look at the specimen before you get it. The one that I'm looking at is long, elongated. It's got the, like we were talking about, and it's got the texture, and it's got veins. But I reckon you put these two plants together, hello, hybrid vigor, I reckon it would be pretty easy. I think it just looks intimidating because it looks so cool. But that's just an assumption. That's what I'm thinking. That was the list. That was my top 10 list of wishlist plants technically for the rest of this year and next year. I'm gonna honestly try my best not to add any more onto the wish list, because that's how I do my wish list. I kind of just sit and like think, okay, what plants right off the top of my head do I really want? And then I write those down, and then I never add anything to it ever again until the next year comes up. And This is my public service announcement. Get those swaps in. Get those swaps in, because post this month being... What is this month? October. Post October, shipping is just gonna get really crazy. And I already went on my Pudo locker rant. So for me personally, I've spent so much time getting rid of plants. I genuinely have nothing to swap at the moment. But I wish I did. If you guys do have any like cool wishlist plants, comment them down below, because I'm putting the list together right now. It's gotta be now, because as we said, we don't add plants later on. This is just a one and done. One list to rule them all. Okay, bye.